Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
All right, I have 7 o'clock. I will call the meeting of the Saxtons River Village Trustees to order. We intended for this to be a brief meeting, but let me just say that we are meeting by electronic only. If anyone has an issue, the number to call or text is 802-376-4639. We are using the same meeting ID, password, and link. So if you get in at some point, please bookmark the link and you can use it to get in every time. Having called the meeting to order, is there any public comment tonight? All right,
No.
I'm sorry? No? On to the annual meeting format and date. And Carl, I'm going to give this to you.
Why me?
Oh, I thought you had an agenda that you wanted to bring up.
Oh, well, I sent everybody a sample warning, which I hope you had a chance to look at. It follows the same format that we've used from time immemorial. And the only things that change from meeting to meeting are the number of trustee positions that are being elected. But I just want to know if there are any changes, additions, or corrections to that.
So typically we do remember people who have passed away during the year. Does that happen outside of the actual warning?
Yes, that's just one of the items in the booklet that we prepare, and the moderator takes care of that. Correct, Guy?
Guy, you're muted, but we would love to have your input.
That. Yes, I take care of that if I'm elected.
Okay. So this looks good. I had not realized that I had forgotten that we add all of the relevant information on the spot at the annual meeting, and that's common, Carl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I took a look at what's required for the warnings when you asked about when the warning had to be issued, and we comply, and all of the details then will come up at the meeting in the motions and so forth. What's common practice for us is for someone on the board to put together list of or a script, shall I say, to read for motions that need to be made. So, for example, I move to approve a budget of blah 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 for the budget item. Nominations of the people who might be running for trustee, and so forth. Although, of course, nominations can also come from the floor.
Okay.
And so that's one of the scripts that magically happens. I think Louise used to do it, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I remember her sending that out ahead last year.
Yeah. Louise sent that, and I usually put something together at the same time.
Okay. And Carl, 30 to 40 days before the actual meeting?
No less than 30, no more than 40.
So it's quite precise. So I'm sorry that Sarah isn't here. When I spoke to her, she asked if we could push the date out a little. We had it, I believe, for is it April 12th? Let me see. I have it bookmarked.
April 11th or 12th, something like that.
Monday, April 11th, annual meeting by bylaws. So it must be the second Monday in April. Sarah was feeling a little pressured about getting everything done in time to have it printed in the booklet. And she wondered whether we wanted to push it out further. We did meet and approve this date for an electronic meeting. I believe, I don't have the minutes in front of me. I believe
Yes.
we approved electronic only. Is that correct, Carl?
That's correct.
I have heard from one resident who told me that she never Zooms. She is a sophisticated person. She never Zooms because she has been hacked repeatedly when she Zooms from her own computer. And I invited her to come to my house to participate in the electronic only meeting. We could also have somebody at Main Street Arts. We had difficulty with the Zoom there, so I think I will, with your permission, Guy, if you would stand in and pretend to be the moderator for this year and comment, that would be very helpful. I think I would prefer to hold the Zoom from my house just because I seem to have better internet access. And I really don't want to drop the program. Do you remember how we did it last year, Zoom, Guy?
It was a hybrid where it was at Main Street Arts. And Ben brought his video, large screen TV. And so we were able to see everyone who connected by Zoom, as well as, I don't remember, Carl, you may know the number of folks that actually showed up in person.
I'd have to dig up the minutes.
So where did you actually hold it?
Pardon me?
Where were you at Main Street Arts?
A downstairs room.
Okay, and you had adequate signal?
Yeah.
And the Zoom originated there?
Yes. I'm not sure if it originated, but that's where we, it was probably Ben who set that up.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it might have been Louise, but I don't remember. Was Louise there? Do you remember?
Yes.
She was in the room.
No, I don't remember.
Okay, we can go back and look at the minutes and see. I'm just concerned because it seemed to work poorly when we held the Zoom at Main Street Arts. I think it might be easier to participate there, but it didn't seem a strong enough platform to carry everybody who was coming in and commenting. Carl.
Yeah, I just called up the minutes, and according to the minutes, the 2021 meeting was at the fire station, the in-person Zoom in the fire station. It was the 2020 meeting, I know, was at the Main Street
Arts. Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember being at the fire station.
So who was at the fire station, Carl?
Alex,
I know you keep meticulous notes, so.
Alex, let's see, via Zoom, almost everybody came via Zoom. The fire station, just Abigail.
And you?
No, I was remote.
So,
Wow.
Rick, were you there? Does it say anybody else was at the fire station? I can't picture Abigail being there by herself.
Rick was there as the trustee present.
Okay.
No, couldn't have been.
And Ellen?
I was not a trustee at the time.
Sorry.
I was
Sorry,
sitting
Ben
here.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace was there at the fire station.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I was remote.
Oh, that's right. You came in late. I remember
I did.
now. We hesitated to elect you without you there. Okay. So, and Rick was not a trustee, obviously. So, okay. So it sounds like Abigail and Ben, and maybe Guy, you were at home? Does it say?
I guess I
it
must have
does.
been home. I'm
It does
having a hard time
word-
believing that it wasn't at Main Street Arts, but if that's what the minutes reflect,
Well, it says that
then
you
I
were
must have
via
done it
Zoom.
from home.
So
What does it say, Carl?
it says that Guy participated via Zoom.
Okay. All right.
Wow. It's
So-
my age now
Rick-
getting in the way.
So are you I'm sorry to keep asking this. Are you comfortable with keeping it on the 11th, electronic only? How do you feel about listening to Sarah and pushing it a couple of weeks out?
I think what Sarah has to do is important enough that if she needs more time to get it done, we should give her a little bit of time. We need to, at some time before about a month before the meeting, so it would normally have happened at our next meeting, we need to go through budget worksheets to look at the budget for the wastewater treatment plant and for the village general budget. I can put those worksheets together, but it needs current expense data from Sarah and current data from, I guess, from the wastewater people. I think Rob has to provide some information. I'm not sure. I believe that Ben used to do those worksheets for Louise, but I'm not certain about that.
Okay. I know I have a new schedule for League of Cities and Towns membership that was sent out some time ago. We have, I think we have a new budget for the Windham County Sheriff contract. So obviously there are a bunch of updates that we're going to have to accomplish.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we try and begin that work at the next one? But I would propose a date of the 25th of April, unless that coincides with any important dates for people. We have a meeting scheduled for Monday the 2nd. That is our regular trustee meeting, which might actually be good to have as soon as possible after the annual meeting.
I'm sorry, what did you say? We have
a meeting the first Monday in May.
Oh, okay.
That's our regular meeting, and it's great to have people sworn in and beginning their work promptly. If we're that late, it's also possible that it would be warm enough to have a meeting in person, but I just don't know if we want to risk that.
Oh, I don't think that would be a good idea.
Okay, that's defined. Rick, Ellen, opinions on that?
Risky with the weather.
I don't think that we can count on holding it outside or with windows open, even if we think windows open is adequate. And I don't think we can be confident enough in the, what should I say, the isolation protocols that are going to be necessary at the end of April.
Okay.
There may be another COVID surge of, I don't know.
A new variant?
Or whatever the next variant is going to be.
Yeah.
So I think that if we have the option to be electronic or to be hybrid, we should exercise that. I think that electronic is probably a little bit easier than hybrid, but there's no harm in having somebody, say, sitting at the fire station in the community room for people who want to attend that way.
Yeah, if we're going to have people sitting somewhere, I would recommend Main Street Arts over the fire department. I'm getting a little motion from Ellen on that. It seems to me it's warmer. There's a bathroom right there, you know.
As long as the access to Zoom is okay there.
It's okay if you're not started. If the person who's beginning the Zoom is not there asking Main Street Arts to be the platform. I think it's fine to have, and you know, if somebody wanted, for example, I have a big screen if somebody wants to set it up and use it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think the
I
Main
don't-
Street Arts,
I don't think that there's any big holiday or anything that would interfere on the 25th.
no, I
Okay.
just checked. I just checked. There isn't anything nationally going on or in my calendar. So,
Rick, it looks okay for you?
The 25th of April?
Yes, that's a Monday.
It should be okay.
Guy, what about you?
That should be okay. I'm just wondering about the elementary school. Is that possible?
It's possible. Once we were offered Main Street Arts, I felt more comfortable about not pressing the school. The school has been interested, but there are so many issues with COVID in using a facility like that, that every time we've made an effort, we've ended up backing out at the last minute, or if they've said from the beginning, no, you really shouldn't plan on it. Whereas Main Street Arts is holding other meetings, has made themselves available, has adequate parking, is charging us nothing for the privilege. So unless there are reasons against it, it seems to me easier to go with Main Street Arts. But make the counter arguments, please.
no, I'm fine with Main Street Arts. I mean, it's a central location.
Guy, what's the advantage of using the school?
It's bigger. And this notion of parking is, I mean, it's, you've got great parking.
Yep.
Either way, for me, it's walking distance, so it's not a challenge.
Yeah. The meeting space that we've been offered at Main Street Arts is either the front room, which is relatively small, or the theater upstairs, which of course is quite large. But I think we would continue to advertise this as an electronic meeting with a physical meeting space for people who absolutely did not want to participate electronically. But given our experience over the last 2 years, I think we would count on most people attending electronically.
I would agree. I mean, I'm running training programs now at the Career Center, and we're fitting 20 people in a room. Yeah, they can have masks and all, but it's not an issue for me. But I didn't realize that the upstairs theater was possible, because 2 years ago it was downstairs in that kind of
The front room?
renovated room.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So I didn't realize the theater was available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they invited us in, showed us where the switches are, the whole run of the place. Carl.
Yeah, I was just doing a count, and last year we had 32 people attend electronically, 32 residents, not including trustees. That's a pretty good attendance for our meetings, and well over our quorum of 20. So I think there is an advantage to having a hybrid or electronic format for the meeting.
Many years, or before we had hybrid or electronic meetings, many years, we were trying to track down somebody to get to them to the meeting so we could make quorum. I know once or twice when I was not planning on attending, Mr. Gia called me and said, "Hey, we need another body."
Oh yeah, so having 30 is great.
All right. Have we beaten this horse to death? This was going to be a short meeting, but I don't want to cut off conversation if there's more to understand. And I see we have someone named Stan Tolstra with us. Stan, I don't know you, but if you came on to participate in this discussion, we would be very happy to hear from you.
Hope I'm working here. This is my first time. I just wanted to see what was going on, and been in the village. We're going on 3 years now, so I figured it was time to step up and try and get involved.
That's great. Thank
Yeah,
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Watch yourself. You'll be involved up to your
Be a
neck.
select board member.
I don't think I have an issue with that.
Great. Okay, it seems to me if we're going to move the date, we need a motion and a vote. Carl,
Yes, I move that we hold the annual village meeting on Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. in a hybrid format with a physical location for Main Street Art.
Stan, I've muted you. So is there a second to that motion?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you read it back? I couldn't hear it all in its entirety.
Oh,
Can you read that once more,
I didn't
Carl?
write it down when I'm saying it. I move that the annual meeting be moved to Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. to be held virtually with the physical, as a hybrid meeting, virtually and with the physical location at Main Street Arts.
I second that motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we hold the annual meeting of the Saxtons River Village Trustees Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. The meeting to be virtual with a physical location at Main Street Arts. Is there any further discussion? All right, well, I think we're ready for the vote. Trustees in favor of the motion signify by holding up your hand. Okay, it's unanimous. We're done. Thank you all. I'll let Sarah know as soon as she's back in town. So format and date, we're all set on that. Do you need a motion to nail down the resolution, Carl, or should we just take by consensus that we have what we need and move forward?
To nail down the warning?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
we're all set? Okay,
If you're okay with it, I'll
it looks fine to me, and nobody responded to you when you sent it out.
so I'll amend it to reflect the changed date and time, and
Okay.
and then it will be. I guess I will leave it in a folder at the market
Yes.
for us all to sign. Is that okay with everybody?
So what this means is that we'd like to have the trustees turn up at the market to sign it. I can get in, I know between, do they open at 9 to 6?
9 to 6, yes.
Yeah. Is that possible for you two who actually work all day? Yes, Ellen, Rick? Yeah,
can.
Great. We need this to be posted exactly between 30 and 40 days. So will you send out a message when it's ready for us to sign, Carl?
I will do that.
Great.
And Rick, Ellen, if you like, I will be happy to hand deliver the copy for you to sign if you prefer that, if you don't want to have to rush down to the market amongst your work schedule.
I can go to the market. It's no trouble.
I'm not going to rush, but I will stop by.
Okay.
Okay. Item 4, I just wanted to make sure I'm about to write to a group of people about the joint meeting with the town of Rockingham and the village of Bellows Falls. We've mentioned this before. I wanted to make sure there's nothing that's come up recently that you want to make sure to discuss. Mostly, I think we just like to be at the table and on the same footing as the rest of the board to have our names on the agenda, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to go back for a minute. Guy, are you willing to run for moderator again this year? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, we are up to warrants and bills for approval. And it's what I sent around. So let me get that up for you. It's hefty. So let me just run down it. The Casella is the usual amount. I noted in the notes that we're still dealing with a November invoice, and I spoke to somebody, and I have notes for Sarah. The payment ended up going to a Toledo, Ohio address that appeared on the invoice. And they don't have a record of it in Vermont, so I have a very specific procedure for her to follow to see whether the check is cleared and either to send a new one over the phone or do something else. Green Mountain Power is the same as usual. VTEL is the same as usual. I'm happy to report that item number 12 is the installation on the pipes at the wastewater treatment plant. That is a project that Rob agreed to initiate, and they're finally working on it. He said to me that the way they do it is when they have some extra time. This is an outfit that's not particularly local. They stop in and work and keep track of their time. So they're billing us for $3,000 at this point. There is more when that bill comes finally due. The fire department is getting a new set of protective gear. That's a large figure, $2,500. I have Art's approval on that. And the rest of the things are very normal. So it's a total of $9,489.70. And before I leave this, I wanted to go back to a question that we dealt with at the last meeting, and that was for a revolving loan fund payment. People's Bank sent us the information. I'm sorry? Was that a question? Okay. People's Bank sent us the information. It's actually a revolving loan fund that goes back to 2014, the very beginning of the wastewater treatment plant. So typically we make one annual payment a year. They offered us the opportunity to omit the payment in 2021 because of COVID and to roll the funding into the next, I believe it's the next 3 years of payment. So that is indeed what we've done. That amount was on the last week's warrant. Last meeting's warrant. But I just wanted to assure you I did call and follow up and was assured that it was legitimate. So I have the documentation and paperwork if anybody wants to see it. But that went in to Sarah as well. Questions on the revolving loan fund payment first? Okay. Questions on the current warrant for February 21st? Can I hear a motion?
Yeah, sure. I move that we approve the warrant for 13 invoices in the total amount of $9,489.70.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the warrant in the amount of $9,489.70. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor, hold up your hand. And we don't need to ask for opposed because that's unanimous. Great. Thank you. Is there any other business tonight? Stan, this is your big chance. Okay. Items for the next meeting?
Reaching out to the town and seeing when we can get the speed cart that they bought and promised us to have set out here by the side of the road. I saw it once on Atkinson Street, but I've not seen it anywhere else. And having gone for a couple of walks with my lovely wife lately,
Yes.
it seems like cars are going faster than ever down.
Because they knew you were walking.
Carl?
Oh, no, if Rick is done.
Yep.
I also have a traffic issue to update us on that I came past the sheriff's deputy sitting just outside the village limits on Hartley Hill Road, watching traffic going through that intersection the Friday after our last meeting. Apparently in response to our queries of the town about that intersection. And he said that they would be monitoring it fairly frequently. And I noticed that there is a little box mounted on a telephone pole that says radar speed enforcement. So I don't know if there's an actual radar set in there that's counting cars or clocking speeds and recording them, or if it's just there to intimidate people.
No,
But they
I
are
don't know.
actually following up.
Yeah. So I heard from, I believe it's Sergeant Norton. The Sheriff's Department recently purchased unobtrusive sensor that tracks speed and time of day. So I think that's probably what you saw, Carl. And they are collecting the data in order to decide when they should be patrolling a particular area. I had talked to the Sheriff's Department about, I think I emailed our sheriff about the two intersections that had come up, the intersection with your street, Ellen, Pleasant Valley and Route 121, and the intersection between Hartley Hill and Westminster Street. And I believe, Carl, you have received the information from zoning about those two intersections, but the Sheriff's Department called back and said, we're going to be putting this up and we'll be paying attention. So maybe I should also ask them for a report for the next meeting. Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need anything else from us, Carl, in terms of those two intersections?
No, not at the moment. I haven't gotten in touch with Andy yet, who's the person who's going to be point on this. But when I can get a hold of him, when he's not busy dredging out flooded ditches, we'll have a conversation about what needs to be done next or
Great.
what our options are.
Okay, great. Do you want that on the next meeting, or would you rather wait and let me know when you're ready for it?
Let me let you know. I hopefully
Okay.
I will talk to him before the next meeting, but I'm
No
not
problem.
sure.
So the next meeting is also budget worksheets.
Yeah.
And I think we should ask Sarah to come and update us.
Okay. So Amy,
Yes,
I will be asking Sarah for some information to put on that budget worksheet. So if she indicates that she needs more time to get it, we might not be able to do it until the meeting after, which should be okay if our annual meeting's been put off for 2 weeks.
okay,
But yeah, let's shoot to talk to it then.
okay, great. All right, is there any need for an executive session tonight? Okay, I think we're ready for that magic motion. Does anybody want to move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second that, and we're done. Thank you all for making this a brief meeting and for coming out on a holiday.